Have you ever had that one thought in your mind that literally changed your whole life? Well, I did. And in this video, I'm going to start telling you my story. Hi, I'm Gina. Welcome to Hope and Cope. Here we explore biblical concepts and essential skills we need to help live our best life, even in the face of painful and tragic situations. So this video is the first in a series of how I began the journey of giving up my life, and I'll explain what that means more as I go along. And if you find this video helpful today, I would love it if you'd hit the like button and consider subscribing and share this with a friend. That would really help my channel to grow. And if you enjoy my content and you'd like to help my channel to grow, then please just stay to the end. That really helps. And if you do, I will let you know at the end one of the revelations that I have learned on my journey of laying my life down. I was married to the love of my life in 1984, and we had 3 daughters. And in 1992, the same year as our 3rd daughter was born, 6 weeks before before she was due, my husband had a tragic accident. And that started this long lifestyle of us no longer just being a normal, average family, but being a family with a chronic condition, multiple surgeries, 2 amputations. My husband's got both of his legs amputated below the knee, and then multiple other surgeries that did stem from that original accident. And all of this over the course of 17 years. And so it was a hard life. We had a hard life. We had a good life, but we had a hard life. And we had a great family. The 5 of us were very close, and then we had a great family around us and a great supportive church, and just had a really good life, even though we had this really challenging thing that was constantly in our life. It was a constant thing we had to deal with, had to consider. Nothing could just be ordinary, but it was still a life that I loved. I loved being with my husband and with my children. And then in 2008, in the fall of 2008, my husband started changing, and we found out about a year later it was because he started drinking. He had drank a lot in his young years before he got married, when he was in the military, maybe before that, and so with all of this stuff going on with his health, and he was having his right leg amputated. I think he'd already had the left one. I might be getting which one came first. I don't know, but I could figure it out. But anyway, he'd already had one amputated when he was about 35, and now, multiple years later, 12 or 13 years later from that, he's having the second one. So he's having a lot of mental anguish, a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety. He had his own business, and so a lot of things were coming crashing down at that time in the economy. It just happened to be this perfect storm of him being overwhelmed, and he started to drink. And so I didn't realize what was going on for about a year. Then when I realized it was like, okay, what are we going to do? We got to get a plan. We got to get him into rehab. We got to get him well. And I didn't know anything about alcoholism. I didn't know anything about addiction. And I thought he was going to go through a 28-day program and then come out and be the same husband I had known for all those years. And that just simply didn't happen. It was actually quite traumatic, to be honest with you, because he had some kind of nervous breakdown when he was in there, and he became very almost nonverbal and very, very, very childlike. And I would have to describe social settings to him and say, you know, we're getting ready to go into a store, and here's how you need to behave, and here's how you need to act, and just stay with me. I mean, it was really weird, and that did improve. That did go away over the course of a few months, but I mean, things just were completely topsy-turvy from what they had been. And then there was a really quick relapse, and then back into rehab. And I don't know how many times, I keep saying on these videos, I'm going to try to figure it out, but I don't know how many times he was in rehab and for how many years, because some were short and some were long and some were very long. I don't think he was ever in one for more than a year, but he did 2 that were he was gone right at a year, and 1 that he was gone right at 6 months, and the others were those 28-day programs. So anyway, life just got really different really fast, and he lost his business. I had been a stay-at-home mom all of my life. I had not worked outside the home, but just a smitten early on in our marriage. And so I had to get a job, and things were really different. And my whole life became this obsession to get my life back. I mean, I wouldn't have called it that. Maybe I did. Maybe I said, man, I just want my old life back. I just want my husband back. I just want my normal life back. Maybe I did say those things. But just my whole concept, everything I did, my priorities of life were all about trying to rebuild what had fallen apart. It's almost like you just picture this house of cards that's coming down, and as it's collapsing, I'm still trying to pick up those cards and put them back on there and rebuild something as it's just falling down around me. And all I wanted to do was fix what was broken and get things back to normal, and how I wanted just normalcy. Just give me back normalcy, and give me back my stability, and give me back the husband I had and the relationship I had, and the way we were able to talk to each other and communicate. And he always made me laugh. He was the funniest guy ever. He made everybody laugh. And I just wanted that back. I just wanted his encouragement. I just wanted, no matter how hard things were, he was my rock, and he could make me feel safe, and he could say, we'll get a plan and we'll fix it. And he knew so many people, and he had so many connections, like if the air conditioner broke in the middle of the summer, I got you. The basement floods, I got you. The electricity goes out, he's the one with the generator, and he could fix anything, and he could make anything better. If I was in turmoil, he could make it better. He could just make me feel better, and he just was a great husband, and very intuitive and very intentional about a lot of things. Some things he was clueless, kind of like any relationship. You don't always hit on every cylinder, but he did a really good job for a husband that was honestly a workaholic and gone a lot. He might not even come home to fix something, but 15 minutes later, a work truck would be pulling up in my driveway. And, he just was very good at handling big situations, really big situations. He was very good at handling it. This was something that was really chronically common at work. For Rob, is he'd go in the hospital and have a surgery, and all day long, the workers would be coming in. They'd be bringing the plans, rolling them out right there in the bed so that he could direct. He'd be making business calls. The morning after a surgery, he's making business calls. He's handling things because he just was that kind of guy for not just his family, but even at his work. And he just knew a lot about a lot of things. And so when I lost him, I really lost this huge security blanket in my life. And the one that, I wasn't the only one that Rob was just like the go-to guy. He was the go-to guy for a lot of our friends, and he was the go-to guy for a lot of the people that he knew through work. And so it just was a real loss, not just for me, but for a lot of people. And so I just wanted my life back. And so one day, this was when he was in one of his long-term rehabs, I was staying at my dad's. They had gone on vacation, and they asked me to house sit, and they said, it'll give you a little bit of a break just to get away. And so I had a little dog at the time. I took my little dog, just me and my little dog, staying there. I worked, but I was there in the evenings, and it was a nice little getaway. So one morning I'm up and I'm just listening to the radio, and I hear this verse, and they said, the Bible says, whosoever seeks to save his life will lose it, and whoever will lose his life for my sake in the Gospels will gain it. And I don't even know what else was said. I don't know the rest of that sermon or the rest of that testimony. I don't know the rest of that segment. That verse, even though I'd heard it lots of times, I felt like it was a whole new experience for me of learning that what I was doing, I was desperate. I was struggling every day to gain my life, the life I wanted, the thing that was meaningful to me, the thing that mattered to me. And you have to understand, it wasn't a bad life. I wasn't wanting to hold on to sin. I wasn't wanting to hold on to some big wrong part of my life. Wasn't a person that had this big secret pornography or adulterous affair or something on the side. I was just trying to maintain my marriage and my family, for myself, for my children, for his job, for our church. I mean, I felt like it was just getting my life back and being a blessing to everybody. And even though there's nothing wrong with trying to save your marriage, nothing wrong with trying to save your marriage, I felt like the Lord was saying to me, you need to step back. You need to quit trying to do everything you can do to save this marriage. You need to just focus on you and me. Keep your eyes on me, Gina. It's part of my my blueprint for serenity is keeping our eyes on Jesus. And I'll link that blueprint for serenity in the description box below if you'd like to learn more about it. And the Lord really did just tell me, look at me, just keep your eyes on me. Don't look at all this down here. This is scary. This is hard. But look at me and learn to let go. Just learn to let go and try to let go. Okay, learn to try to let go. Because I was grasping at stuff that was just falling out. I was just grasping so hard, just grasping so hard to hold on to some semblance of normality. And all I could think about was tomorrow being better and tomorrow being better and the next day is going to be better and I'm going to get my husband back and by Christmas or by New Year or by summer, when he gets out of this rehab, when he gets out of this rehab, after he does this, after he does that, I just kept looking to get my life back. So this is just me trying to set the stage for this epiphany that I got this one particular morning while I was just getting up, getting ready, that, oh my gosh, all I'm doing in my whole life is I'm trying to save my own life. And that what you want me to do, Lord, is just focus on you, focus on my relationship with you, and be willing to let go of things that I have no control over. So I didn't even know what that looked like. It took me weeks, maybe really months, to try to let it sink in. I spoke to just about everybody that I had respect for, that were mentors, that were in my life at the time, trying to say, this is how I feel like the Lord is directing me. I don't know what that looks like. And just trying to work it out with the people that I knew that loved God and also had a vision for God's word and understood his word, and trying my best to figure out what was I supposed to do and how just mechanically and practically on a daily basis, even what did that look like. So I'm going to cover this more in the next video. I just want to set the stage for you of this journey that I started way back when and how that's gone for me. I'm wondering if anything like this has ever happened to you. Have you ever just had a thought just out of the blue that literally just put an anchor in your soul and changed the direction of your life and was just an epiphany that you've never been the same? And I'd love to hear about it, and let us know in the comments below. So the point that I asked you if you'd stay to the end that I wanted to share is that I thought that I was going to figure this out and I was going to do it like a project and it would be over. And that's just not true. The way it's actually happened is that it's just ongoing. Like anything else that's spiritual, we grow in it. I'm still in the process of trying to let my life go. And I'm not in the same boat I was in at the time. I had a husband that was in an active addiction, and now I have a husband that is quadriplegic, and I'm a full-time caregiver, and I'm still working on learning how to let go of my expectations and the things that I could easily hold dear, all the things that I could easily take into my heart and make them so important. I'm trying my best to just not cling too much to life and to just keep my eyes on Jesus and to unfold my life as he sees fit and not with any personal agenda. So I'm going to cover more about my journey in the next videos, and I hope that this has sparked your interest. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and you can check out the description box for more encouragement. And if you would hit the thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it. Consider subscribing and maybe share this with a friend if you think there's someone that would be interested. Look for new content every Sunday, and I love you. I'm praying for you. Until next time, God bless.